Okay, well, here we are, and welcome to my Kudos Kitchen. I'm live today with my technique for painted pie. I know I'm a few minutes early, but I just kind of wanted to get a feel for, just let people get here in time. 1:30, I said, was the time I was going to start, and I was nervous, as you know, and I just know my dogs are going to start ringing the bell to go out. It's a beautiful snowy day here in Illinois, and this is the first snow we've had, and they just can't wait. So if you hear some crazy bells in the background or barking, because I'm waiting for Amazon to arrive, and then they'll really freak out, and odds are he's going to get here right in the middle of this video. But what can you do? This is life. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is my technique for painted pie crust. There's nutmeg on the little bell. You're going to have to wait, honey. Sorry. And I'm making a pecan pie. It couldn't really be easier than that. It's basically a dump recipe. At least that's what I'm calling it. So I would love to find out who's all watching today. I see a lot of comments flying back and forth. But to be honest with you, my eyes aren't that good, and I can't really read them. And I want you to know I appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions, I'll have to probably get back to you later after I have a chance to kind of read them and look at the comments on Facebook. I'm using my phone for this, and it's really small. But I do appreciate everybody being here, and I hope you're having a good day. So, my husband and my two boys, grown sons, are at the Chicago Bears game today. So I thought this would be a perfect day for me to kind of visit with you and try my hand at my first video. So I have Christmas music going on in the background, so if you hear something, and the bells, which are nutmeg, so maybe we can begin. How about it, people? I'm sorry, it's gonna take me a little while, so breathe deep, and here we go. So to begin with the pecan pie, like I said, it's basically just a dump recipe, or that's how I'm going to make it today. So I have my eggs, and 3 eggs it was, some light corn syrup going in, brown sugar, half a cup of that, half a cup of the corn syrup, a half a cup of granulated sugar, 5 tablespoons of butter, I believe it was, and some vanilla, salt, always salt. Even if it's a sweet, you always add the salt. That brings out all the flavor of the sweet and enhances the sweetness of whatever you're making. Or it just enhances the flavor of anything, savory or sweet, so always add salt. The best part, a little bit of bourbon. I've been smelling this ever since I set up, and I'm feeling like I need to take a nip, but I won't. I'll be good. I'll do it later. So whisk it together. Hopefully you can see. Just takes a little bit of elbow grease. Not really, it's just simple. It's just whisking. So whisk it together. And then you add in, this is like 2 cups of pecan halves I'm using. Whisk that together. And I wanted to see, this is the way I cook. I kind of just go by feel. Baking not so much, but sometimes. Anyways, and then I decided I'm going to try and maybe add some pine nuts if it looks like it needs a little bit more stability for the pie crust to be on top of it. So I'm going to add a little bit of pine nuts because why not? Pine nuts are good. So there we have it. There's the mixture for the pie. And I'm of the mindset that if you are great at making pie crust, go for it. Make your own. I think that's great. I'm not so good at it. I just have not that accomplished at it. So I'm using this is the kind that you find in the freezer section, the deep dish one. So I'm going to use that for the bottom crust. And then for the painted pie topping, I'm going to be using the one that you can buy in the refrigerated section. I have to remember to look at the camera. I just noticed I haven't been interacting, so I apologize. Anyways, I'm going to be using the refrigerated pie dough that you can roll out, and that's how I'm going to be cutting the poinsettia leaves. So here's the mixture for the pie, and I'm pouring it in the deep dish pie shell. Ooh, that looks good, nice and full, which is what I want. And then smooth it out. And what I'm going to do, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, because that's the way I roll, I'm going to put the pie crust on top before baking it. Now, if you saw my turkey crust pie, you'll know that I pre-baked it. But I'm not going to do that because I think, like I said, the pecans and the pine nuts will give it enough stability where the pie crust will just you know, lay on top of the pie. So we'll move this aside. And now we work on the poinsettias. So for that, what I'm going to use, well, first I'll show you. I have some silk poinsettias that I put out at Christmas time. What you're going to want to do is make a template. That's what I always do when I make a painted pie crust, or, you know, fancy pie crust. And I use a cardboard that are on the back of, like, you know, notepads and stuff. Nothing fancy. And I just traced around a poinsettia leaf, and you can do this freehand. It just, this is roughly, I'm going to say 2, maybe 3 inches. Okay, and it's got a pointy end and a rounded end. So that's one of the larger petals. And I did another one of the smaller petals. Same thing, this is probably 2 inches. If you can see, 2 inches. Same thing, I put it on the cardboard and traced around it. So there you go. And then I cut it out with a scissors. Easy. So from there, I will take the pie crust and I'll lay the templates out on the pie crust. And with my paring knife, a sharp paring knife, I'll just go around with shaky hands. And I'll cut around. I want approximately 5 large leaves for the poinsettia, and those are going to be the red ones. And I want approximately 5 small ones, again for the poinsettia, and those are going to be red as well. But I think I'm going to also want 3 green large ones for the leaves. So once my hands stop shaking, then I'll be much better at this. And again, I really wish I could see your comments. I see a lot of them coming in, and I feel horrible that I can't. So I apologize, people, but I do appreciate you being there and lending support and being my friends out there. So, okay, nutmeg's really wanting to go out, but you gotta wait. Sorry. Just like a kid. Whenever you're on the phone, that's when they want something. Whenever you're busy. Okay. Probably should have had this done ahead of time. I know you can't see the best, but I think you'll get the gist of what I'm doing here. So I'm just, you know, going around each petal. So I have 5. I think I'm going to do 3 more for the leaves. Okay. Mr. Grinch. I don't know if you can hear Grinch on the radio right now, but it reminds me of a Grinch guacamole I did recently that I really enjoyed doing. People seem to really get a kick out of that. So if you're new to me here, my blog is Kudos Kitchen by Renee, and you can find me at www.kudoskitchenbyrenee. And I like to come up with my own recipes. The majority of them are, and I also like to paint decorative items. Shameless plug: aprons, glassware. I know that's horrible, but what the heck? It's my video. So, anyways, I have the 8 large leaves, and now I'm going to cut out 5 small of the petals. And then from there, we're ready to mix up the colors, which I always use gel food color because I think it definitely has more of a pigment. so you get a better color than just maybe the kind you buy at the grocery store, the more liquid. So I prefer the gel, and I'll leave links where you can buy them if you'd like. Amazon is my favorite place in all the world. It seems. Ask my husband. Okay, so I have 3, 4. Probably should have done this ahead of time. I don't know, did I say that earlier? Okay, and then 5. And the reason I've decided to go ahead and do these live videos is because from the way I understand it, these live videos are like gonna explode with popularity. And really, it's a great way to brand what you're doing and bring in new views and visitors. And I'll tell you what, the person that's blazed the trail for me that I appreciate watching is Jenny Field. Jenny Field of Jenny Field's Pastry Chef Online. www.jennyfieldpastrychefonline.com. She's been a tremendous support system to me, and I just love her. She's just the nicest girl. So there you go, Jenny. Hope you're out there watching. And then from there, I take a Wilton number 12 tip. Because you know the poinsettias, they always have the little, like, what do you call them? Pistons? And not pistons. I don't know what they're called. In the center of the flower, you know, like the little ball things. So what I did is I'm using the little round end of the number 12 tip. And that's how I'm cutting out the circles for the center of the flower. So I'm going to do, I don't know, probably an odd number of those. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Using the end of my paintbrush to get them out of the tip, because once they're in, they're pretty stuck. Okay, so there we have it. There's all the little balls. From there, I'm going to take the pie crust that, you know, the edges that I didn't use for the leaves and the petals, and just remove it to make it easier. And then you can go ahead and bake this up if you want. Sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar. Brush it with butter. Yum. And then bake this just so you aren't wasting it. But for my purposes today, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to set it aside. Pretend like you didn't see it. Alright? I'll do something with it later. Okay. I think I have them all. I hope so. Alright, so there I have my leaves, my little ball thingies, and my petals, big, large, and small. From there, we're not done. From there, we're going to vein it with a paring knife. You don't want to cut all the way through because that would ruin your leaves. So one straight one down the middle, and then 3 on either side like a chevron. Okay? And do that on each one of the leaves and petals. Because when it bakes, it'll open up just a little bit, not excessively, but it just will add some nice interest. So we'll straight one down and then like 3 little markings on either side. Like a feather. You know what a leaf looks like. I don't have to tell you. Okay, so there we go, there we go, there we go. From here, what I'll be doing is I'll be mixing up an egg wash. Oops, I cut that one too deep. Mixing up an egg wash with a little bit of egg and water and the gel food coloring. And that's when the fun comes, and that's when you get to paint. I think you know I love to paint. Well, I like to cook, I like to bake. I like to be creative. Let's just call it what it is. All right, almost done. Last one. Ding, ding, ding. I've never done this pie before. I haven't been looking at you either, and I apologize. I've never done this pie before. I had the idea in my head. Whoa. So, cross fingers that it's going to look nice. And you're not going to see it until later. I mean, I'm going to show it to you when it's ready to be baked, but you're not going to see it until later, after it's been baked. Because I'm not that organized to have it done for you. Okay? So, So what we'll do now is we'll take a cup, and the reason I'm using a cup is because it will be easy to pour the colors into the small little dishes. You know, I bent it. So I'll take an egg, crack it. I forgot to get some water. Hang on. About a tablespoon of water. In with your egg. Mix it up real good. This will be your egg wash. Okay. So pour a little into each of a small, I don't know, small-ish bowl. Okay. So we have a little for the center balls, and they're going to be yellow and green. So a couple drops of yellow, some green for the little ball things. Somebody tell me what those are called, because I'm drawing a blank. And I know it's simple, but you know, it's one of those senior moments. And then a bunch of red for the petals. And let's hope I don't mess this up. I'll start with the petals first, the red ones, and get those out of the way. So mix them up with a nice paintbrush that preferably you haven't used for anything else. And if you have, just make sure that you wash it out real well. And then liberally paint on those and just slap it on. You don't have to be fancy. Okay, we're just covering the petals with color. That's all. Okay, so there's one. And if you used a larger paintbrush, a wider paintbrush, it would go faster. But I'm not. Okay, so there's two. I think this will be pretty. I always get excited when I start to see a design come about. But I never know until the finished product. So bear with me, people. If it doesn't look good, I think it'll taste good anyways. And you just won't be seeing it. Maybe. So I'm almost done with the 5. Oh, I forgot to line, ooh, darn. I forgot to line 3 of the small petals. Okay, so I got 5 of the large ones painted red, and now I'm being really sloppy here too. But you take your time at home, seriously. And don't be nervous, because just don't be nervous. Nobody cares. It's just food, really. That's my theory. It's just food. How bad can it be? You know, how bad can it taste? So long as you're using ingredients you love and flavors you love, don't be afraid. Just have fun. That's what cooking is about, and baking, as far as that. Well, baking you have to be more precise, but I'm not always that way. My mom will tell you that. Okay, I'll line the last ones. Darn. Nutmeg's still waiting to go out, but she'll be waiting another 20 minutes. Okay. All right, so 2 more. So how is everybody out there? Even though I can't see and don't know what you're saying to me. I've made so many great friends through social media and through my blog and just shared interests. I can't even explain to you how much it means to me. I mean, it chokes me up, actually, a lot of times when I sit and think about it. So I won't sit and think about that now, because you don't want to see me cry. Because I would. I was so nervous before this. I'm calming down, but I was so nervous before this started. I like almost had myself near tears. So that's ridiculous. But this is the first one, so now that I have this under my belt, and if it's a success with how the pie looks, maybe you'll come back and visit with me again. I hope you will. I do. All right, so between colors, wash your brush with water, which again, I didn't bring extra water. It's like the only thing I forgot, I think. So wash it up, wash your brush. Easy, just rinse it. And now let's do the green for the leaves. Hopefully this isn't boring for you, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing my best. So, okay, here's pretty well mixed up. Oh, pretty. So, looks like Christmas to me, people. I'm excited about Christmas this year, especially with the snow coming down so pretty like it is today. Really feels like Christmas now to me. We went last night and we looked at lights. There's a house in Elburn, Illinois that, oh my God, is it spectacular. It sits up on a hill. It's called the Larsen Christmas house, I think. And this guy, he must be a multi-millionaire. I have no clue, but he puts on the most spectacular light show I've ever seen. So we did that and with our good friends, and then we went to a place called Moose Heart, which is for orphans, and they put on a light show there. So they, you know, asked for a $10 donation per car. So it felt really good to do that and see their light show and do something nice for the kids there. So that was enjoyable. So there's the green leaves, and then the only other thing before we assemble is we're gonna do those round things, balls. And the way I see them, when I look at them, I see a yellow center with green tips. So I'm not gonna be too careful. I'm just gonna paint them yellow and then go through and tip them with a little bit of green. I don't know how that's gonna look. It's probably all gonna bleed to be green, so maybe I shouldn't do it. I don't know yet. I'll see in a minute how I feel about it. Again, that's the way I roll. So I'm gonna move my colors aside and my paintbrush. And now for the fun part. Well, I thought that was fun too, but the real fun part is to assemble it. So let me get my pie back that I set aside. And the way I thought about this, I thought that it's best to have the 3 green leaves. I like to do things in odd numbers. If I said that before, I apologize. So I'm gonna do the 3 green leaves more out towards the, you know, the perimeter of the pie, and keep the flower more in the center, so that way the leaves will be visible. Okay, my trusty offset spatula. Okay, so I'll do 12 o'clock. What is that, 8 o'clock? And 5 o'clock, I guess. Oh, nice, okay. I can already tell I'm liking it. And I don't say that to be cocky, I just enjoy seeing something come to life. Okay, now I'm shaking again because I'm excited. All right, so from there, we're gonna take the red large leaves and we're gonna lay them staggered more towards the center of the pie itself. Okay, I guess I don't need my offset spatula. Oh, can you see it? Can you see it? I hope you can see it. Okay, there's number 3 petal, 4 petal. Oh, do you hear White Christmas on the radio? Just as appropriate. It's pretty. Okay, and now these other little red ones, I'm gonna stagger those in between the large red ones, the large red petals. So I think you get the gist of what I'm doing here. Do I? Yes, I have enough. In my nervousness, I wasn't sure if I prepared this correctly. Oh, it's pretty. I do this even when no one's watching. I get excited. Okay. So I'm gonna touch up that little bit of red area that I don't know if you can see, but I kind of made a mess with green, just because. Okay, that looks pretty. And then from there, I'm going to add the little yellow berries. And these are tricky because they're small and I still am a little shaky. Okay, and maybe I should have made them bigger, but I didn't, and I'm not gonna go back now. So I'm going to place those staggered in the middle. That one flipped over on me. There's one that happens to have some red, but that's okay. Okay, we're almost done, folks. We are almost done. And good thing because Nutmeg is really anxious. Come on, Mom. I gotta go potty. She doesn't have to go potty. She wants to go out and play in the snow. And probably eat bunny turds, if you must know. Oh. She's got an oncologist appointment on Tuesday because my baby's got mast cell skin cancer. So she's been on medication for several years, and I have to bring her in on Tuesday, and I have my fingers crossed that she gets a good report because naturally I'm concerned. But she seems good, and she's happy, and she's as energetic as a little round piggy puppy can be. So can't ask for more than that, I guess. So oh yes, there's the last one. Okay. I'm going to touch it up just a pinch with more yellow because I do have to. It's a little OCD in some ways. Okay. Okay. What I should do, but I'm not going to, I have edible glitter from my cookie decorating days. But I'm not going there because I'd have to dig through the cabinets and nobody needs to see that. So we'll just forget about that. All right. So here is the pecan. I can't really tilt it because it's not baked. Here is the pecan. What did I call it? Pecan painted poinsettia pie. Nearly perfect. Just kidding. But it does look good. So I'm going to put it in the oven now. It's going to bake for, I don't remember, I'm going to say like 40 minutes or something. I did have notes that I was going to try and follow. Didn't happen. I think I hit all my pretty important points, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, if you'd like to see more, I'm going to post the finished pie on my Facebook page, Kudos Kitchen, later today, and I'm also going to post it on my personal page for the pie, the poinsettia painted pie. Sorry, it's been a long day. So look for it later, and I hope you enjoyed this video because I enjoyed bringing it to you, and I sure am glad it's over. So anyways, Merry Christmas all. Love you. Have a good day. Bye.